Hey, what's up, YouTube? Today I'm here to talk about strength in numbers and why I think it's important to talk about it. Right now, do you see this eagle with the arrows in its one talon and an olive branch in the other talon? And let's see, how many stars is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 stars for the 13 colonies right above the eagle's head. And the eagle also has a phrase probably on a papyrus or on some paper that it's holding in its mouth. And it's probably in Latin or, something like that. But have you ever heard of united we stand, divided we fall? Because that's how communities work. If you look at cults, religions, political parties, it all works with a community. The best way to assimilate a community and brainwash a community is to find the weak link, to find the weak spot, somewhere where somebody can hurt you. They will know something about you and they will keep hacking at that weak link until the whole chain breaks. And that's how the black community and the minority communities are. Instead of us uplifting each other, we tear each other down, and the governments just sit back and watch this. If we break up the minority communities in 4 quarters, now I'm just going to speak about the black community, because I feel like since I'm not Asian, I haven't experienced Asian struggles. I probably can learn and understand how they feel, but I didn't experience them. So I can only have empathy for them. I can't have sympathy for them because I don't understand. I wasn't in their shoes. So if you look at 4 quarters or 25% of each of the black community, I would say 25% are dead. So, because we get persecuted, it's almost on Instagram and stuff and Facebook every day. We'll find something that just surfaced that happened 2 years ago, last week, anything like that. So 25% of the black community has been killed by other communities, or we kill ourselves. So we've been killed by homicide and genocide. And this isn't even mental health problems. So 25% off of homicides and genocides. Now we got 75% left. So the other 25%, those black men and women, specifically black men, we need to get our act together. Specifically, the other 25% is in jail and prison. So now that's 50%. Half of the dollar already. Half of the dollar. Now we're on to 3/4 or the third of it. I'm sorry, but I mean, if you research what eugenics is, selective breeding, and realize that that's a philosophy that scientists have popularized and political people have popularized in their meetings, in their secretive meetings and stuff like that. Research eugenics and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Now, this third quarter, okay, so look, genocide and homicide was 1 quarter. Jail and prison. Homosexuality. Okay, I got to talk about it. I'm sorry. Now, I'm all for you being whatever you want to be, but you have to find a way to support and uplift your community. You got to, okay, there's only certain ways you can support somebody. In a capitalist country like America, you can support them emotionally and mentally, physically by helping them do something, financially. I mean, it's only 3 things that I can think of that you can support somebody in. Financially, because we live in a capitalist country. Physically and mentally and emotionally are both tied for third. So you can be there for them emotionally by giving them empathy and sympathy if you understand their pain and struggles. Hopefully you can give them some advice, stuff like that. Financially, if somebody's down bad and they're homeless, maybe you can give them some money or teach them how to make more money. You know, it's easier teaching somebody how to fish instead of them being dependent upon you for the fish. Like all minorities and all people are with stimulus, WIC, stimulus, WIC, food stamps, welfare. I'm not sure if that is WIC. I need to do my research on that, but realize how many little funded programs there are, or funded things there are to keep you dependent. Do you know the definition of independent and dependent? Look at the percentage. It's even rich people that are dependent on the government. Rich people. There's a difference between rich and wealthy. So yeah, I'm okay with I love gays, and I'm not sure if you want to be called transsexuals or transgenders and lesbians and bisexuals, asexuals. All those people are cool with me. The LGBTQ, the queers as well, you're cool with me. We're all together, but I'm saying, how could you support your community? You need to just, don't get mad at me that I'm just talking about this. Actually think, instead of reflecting your anger because people are discriminating against you onto me, reflect your anger and pain onto you and ask yourself, how can I support myself and love myself for what society says I have flaws in, and how can I support other people as well? Well, I'm a straight male man, or a cisgender man, or whatever you want to call it. And, you know, if you're in that community, how can you reproduce? That's what eugenics is, selective breeding. You know, Chad Johnson, or AKA Ocho Cinco, you know, he said his wives or his baby mothers, he only slept with the smartest and most athletic women he could find. And that's eugenics. That's selective breeding. We see it in the wild because low key, it's kind of true. Why would you want a horse that doesn't even want to run from, you know, let's say, why would you want to marry and have a child with a slow zebra that can't run from a lion? If you can't run from a lion, I don't know what to tell you. You got to get faster. You got to run for two reasons: to live and to eat. And those both intertwine. They're on the same road. It's just like communication. That's why I'm giving this spill. This is a real spill alert. Real spill alert is me dropping facts, you know, the cold truth of what I think. And if you're a lesbian, how are you reproducing? So and you can have a good mindset, but if you're not going to help other people, you're useless. It's the best way to say it. Life is literally a monopoly game. You have to realize it. If you live in America, it's a capitalist country. You can call it whatever you want to call it, but that's just my philosophy on it. If you're a lesbian, how can you reproduce? Unless you get another man's sperm. So now you're a surrogate, right? If you're bisexual, I mean, you go both ways, right? So hopefully you can reproduce and uplift and support a community and maybe be a bisexual activist. You know, do certain things to lead people to be better people. If you're gay, how can you reproduce? Are you going to adopt a child? Are you going to raise that child good? Are you going to make sure that child is smarter than you, knows how to, you know, in a society like this, knows how to have personal security of their self, knows how to do their own taxes, knows how to drive? Are you going to help them, teach them, uplift them, listen to them, hear them, feel them? You feel me? And let me see. if you're a transgender, I'm not saying, or a transsexual, or the T community, how can you reproduce? What are you going to do? What steps are you going to take to uplift people, to uplift your community? If the transgender community is looked down upon and it's a gaysism, like racism, but, if it's something like that, or transism, what are you going to do? Are you going to get angry at the game? Are you going to get angry at me for telling the cold hard truth? Are you going to get angry at yourself and do better? If you're in the queer community, or, let's just say the alphabet community, because it's kind of just too much. It's not in order, But yeah, if you're in the queer community, what are you going to do? You going to get mad at me for telling the truth? For what? For how the game is? For me telling you the rules of the game? That there are loopholes. It's billionaires that don't pay their taxes right now. You just have to find a loophole. If you can't, it's a gang called the IRS, and they're gonna make sure you're serving some time. And you could possibly serve some time and pay a fine. That's called a double whammy. Because you just got bent over twice. Because you had to sacrifice your time and you had to sacrifice your finances. Because they want your money. They're here to rob. It's a capitalist country. You got to realize the game. What are you going to do to uplift your community? Are you going to make a pivotal role to corral more people, to make them realize how this game really is? Or are you going to just focus on self? But yeah, hopefully you're staying safe and staying happy. And always with the motto, stay happy, stay ambitious, and stay resilient. Peace.